Amara stood at the edge of the busy street, her breath uneven, her fingers trembling as she clutched her phone. The cold wind bit into her skin, but she barely felt it. Her eyes were filled with tears, her chest rising and falling too fast. "I didn't mean for this to happen," she whispered, her voice cracking. Her phone buzzed again in her hand. She stared at the screen but didn't answer. She couldn't.
Not now.
Not after everything. A group of strangers brushed past her, laughing, careless, free. She looked at them like they belonged to a different world. Maybe they did, because just a few months ago she was someone else entirely. Back home, life was simple. Amara woke up every morning to the sound of roosters and her mother's soft voice calling her name. The air was warm, familiar, and filled with the scent of firewood and boiling rice. Everyone knew her. Everyone believed in her. "She's the one," the neighbors would say. "She will make it out." And she believed it too. She spent her evenings under a flickering lantern, reading borrowed textbooks, determined to change her life. Her mother would sit nearby, sometimes watching her with quiet pride, sometimes sighing softly when she thought Amara wasn't looking. One evening, her mother placed a small plate of food beside her. "You've been reading for hours," she said gently. "Rest a little." Amara shook her head. "I can't, Mama. Not yet." Her mother sat down slowly. "You don't have to carry everything on your shoulders." Amara finally looked up. "But I do. This is our chance." Her mother didn't reply immediately. She just reached out and touched Amara's hand. "Just don't forget who you are when you get there," she said quietly. Amara smiled, confident, almost amused. "How can I forget? This place made me." She didn't know then how easy it was to lose yourself. The day the scholarship letter came, everything changed. She had run all the way home, her heart racing, the paper shaking in her hands. "Mama," she screamed before even entering.
Mama.
Her mother rushed out, startled. "What is it? What happened?" Amara couldn't even speak at first. She just handed over the letter, her eyes shining. Her mother read it once, then again, and then her face broke into something Amara had never seen before.
Pure J.
"You did it," she whispered. That night, the entire village celebrated. People came with food, music, laughter. They hugged her, blessed her, told her she was going to make them proud. And for the first time, Amara felt like her dreams were not just hers. They belonged to everyone. The journey abroad felt like stepping into another universe. The airport alone overwhelmed her. The lights, the announcements, the endless movement of people, it was nothing like home. She held onto her small bag tightly, afraid that if she let go of anything, she might lose herself in the chaos. When she finally arrived in the new country, the cold hit her first. She gasped softly, wrapping her arms around herself. "So this is it," she muttered. Everything was bigger,
Faster.
louder. The buildings stretched endlessly into the sky. Cars moved like they were in a race. People walked with purpose, barely looking at each other. For a moment, she felt small. But then she smiled. This is where my life begins. Her university was even more intimidating. Students moved in groups, laughing, confident, stylish. Their accents were different. Their clothes were different. Everything about them screamed ease. Amara adjusted her simple outfit nervously as she walked through the campus. "Excuse me," she said softly to a girl passing by. "Can you help me find this hall?" The girl glanced at her, then at the paper, then back at her. "Oh, you're new," she said, her tone slightly amused. "It's that way." "Thank you," Amara replied quickly. As she walked away, she heard faint laughter behind her. Her steps slowed. Maybe she imagined it. Maybe not. Her first class was worse. When the lecturer asked her to introduce herself, her heart pounded loudly in her ears. "My name is Amara," she began, her accent thick, her voice hesitant. "I'm from—" A few students exchanged looks. Someone snickered. Her throat tightened, but she forced herself to continue.
I'm studying.
"Wait, say that again," a boy interrupted, smiling in a way that didn't feel kind. The class chuckled. Amara froze. "Never mind," the lecturer said quickly, trying to move on. But the damage was done. She sat down slowly, her face burning, her hands clenched tightly together. That was the first crack. Later that day, as she sat alone outside, staring at her phone, someone approached her. Hey. She looked up. A girl stood in front of her, confident, well-dressed, smiling brightly. You're Amara, right? Amara nodded slowly. I'm Chloe, the girl said, sitting beside her without hesitation. Don't mind them. They're always like that. Amara gave a small, unsure smile. It's okay. It's not, Chloe replied. But you'll get used to it. There was something reassuring about her tone. Are you settling in okay?
Chloe asked.
I think so, Amara said, though she wasn't sure. Well, you don't have to do it alone, Chloe said. Stick with me. Amara hesitated for a second, then nodded. Okay. She didn't know it yet, but that simple decision would change everything. As the days passed, Amara started spending more time with Chloe. Chloe introduced her to new places, new people, new experiences. For the first time since arriving, Amara began to feel like she belonged. They laughed together, walked around the city, shared stories. You worry too much, Chloe told her one evening. Relax. Enjoy your life. Amara smiled. I'm trying. No, you're thinking, Chloe corrected. Stop thinking so much. And slowly, Amara started listening. She began to change little by little. At first, it was small things. The way she spoke, the way she dressed, the way she carried herself. She noticed people laughed less at her. She noticed she blended in more. And she liked it. One night, as she stared at herself in the mirror, she tilted her head slightly. Maybe this is better, she whispered. Her phone buzzed. Mama calling. She stared at it, and for the first time, she didn't pick up. Amara let the phone ring until it stopped. For a moment, the silence that followed felt louder than the ringtone itself. She stared at the screen, her chest tightening slightly. Then she locked it and dropped it beside her. I'll call her later, she muttered. But later never came. Days turned into weeks, and Amara's life slowly began to revolve around Chloe and the new world she had introduced her to. The campus no longer felt as intimidating. People started recognizing her. Not for who she was, but for who she was becoming. Now you look like you belong here, Chloe said one afternoon, eyeing her outfit with approval. Amara smiled. You think so? I know so, Chloe replied. Trust me, first impressions matter. Out here, nobody cares where you're from, only how you present yourself. Amara nodded, absorbing every word. That night, she stood in front of the mirror again. The girl staring back at her looked different. More polished, more confident, but also unfamiliar. Her phone buzzed again. Mama calling. She hesitated this time. Her thumb hovered over the screen, then slowly, she declined it. I'll call tomorrow, she whispered again. The next day, during a group discussion in class, Amara forced herself to speak up. I think we should approach it this way. Her words came out smoother this time, her accent slightly altered, her tone more controlled. Someone nodded. Yeah, that makes sense.
No laughter. No whispers.
A small smile crept onto her face. After class, Chloe nudged her playfully.
See?
I told you. Amara laughed. Maybe you're right. Of course I am, Chloe said confidently. You just needed a little upgrade.
Upgrade.
The word echoed in Amara's mind long after Chloe had left. That evening, Amara sat with her books open, staring at pages she couldn't seem to focus on. The workload was heavier than she expected. The lectures moved fast. Too fast. Her head throbbed. I can't keep up, she murmured. Her phone buzzed again. This time it was a message. Mama, are you okay? You haven't been calling.
I'm worried.
Amara stared at it for a long moment. Then she typed.
I've fine.
Just busy with school. She hesitated, then hit send. Almost immediately, her phone rang. She sighed softly before answering.
Nana.
Amara, her mother's voice came through, filled with relief. Why have you been quiet? Are you eating well? Are you? I'm fine, Amara interrupted quickly. Everything is fine. I've just been busy. There was a pause. You sound different, her mother said slowly. Amara's heart skipped. Different how? She asked, forcing a small laugh. I don't know, just different, her mother replied. It's nothing, Mama. I'm just tired. Another pause. Okay, her mother said softly. Just remember what I told you. Amara looked away. I will. But even she knew she already wasn't. A few days later, Chloe burst into Amara's room without knocking. Get dressed, she said excitedly. Amara looked up from her notes. For what? There's a party tonight. You're coming. Amara frowned. I don't think I should. I have books. Chloe cut in. You always have books. Relax for once. Amara hesitated. I don't really do parties. Chloe rolled her eyes. Well, you do now. Come on, don't be boring. The word stung more than it should have. I'm not boring, Amara said quickly. Then prove it, Chloe replied, smirking. That was all it took. That night, the music was loud enough to shake the walls. Lights flashed in different colors. People laughed, danced, shouted over each other. Amara stood at the entrance, frozen. This is a lot, she admitted. Chloe grabbed her hand. You'll be fine. Stick with me. As the night went on, Amara slowly relaxed. She laughed. She danced. She forgot about her worries, even if just for a moment. You see? Chloe shouted over the music. This is life. Amara smiled, breathless. Yeah, this is life. But later, as the night deepened, things shifted. Chloe introduced her to a group of people she hadn't seen before. They're cool, Chloe said. Don't worry. One of them, a guy with a sharp smile, leaned closer to Amara. So you're the new girl, he said. Amara nodded. I guess so. He chuckled. You'll learn fast. Everyone does. She didn't understand what he meant, but she laughed anyway. As the days passed, the parties became more frequent. The late nights turned into missed classes. The missed classes turned into confusion and stress. And the stress started piling up. One afternoon, Amara sat alone in a quiet corner of the campus, her head in her hands. I can't do this, she whispered. You can. She looked up. It was the quiet student from her class, the one who barely spoke, always observing. I've seen you around, the girl said calmly, sitting beside her. Amara blinked. You have? The girl nodded. You're struggling. Amara let out a weak laugh. Is it that obvious? Yes. Amara sighed. I just need to figure things out. The girl studied her for a moment. Be careful who you figure it out with, she said quietly. Amara frowned slightly. What do you mean? But the girl stood up. You'll understand soon. And just like that, she walked away. Amara watched her go, confusion settling in her chest. That night, Chloe showed up again. Hey, she said casually. I need your help with something. Amara looked up. What kind of help? Chloe hesitated for a split second, then smiled. It's nothing serious. Just something small. Amara narrowed her eyes slightly. What is it? Chloe leaned closer. Trust me, she said softly. This could actually help you. Amara felt something shift inside her. What do you mean? Chloe's smile widened. You said you're struggling, right? With money with school. Amara didn't reply. What if I told you there's a way to fix that? Chloe continued. Amara's heart started beating faster. What kind of way? Chloe glanced around before speaking again. Just something simple. Quick money. No stress. Amara's stomach tightened. That doesn't sound illegal? Chloe cut in, laughing lightly. Relax. You worry too much. Amara stayed silent. Chloe's expression softened. Look, I wouldn't bring you into anything dangerous. I've got you. That sentence. I've got you. It felt familiar. Comforting. But also heavy. Amara swallowed. What do I have to do? What do I have to do? The question hung in the air longer than Amara expected. For a brief second, Chloe didn't answer. She just watched her like she was measuring something. Then she smiled. Nothing complicated, she said. Just help us move some things around. Receive, send, that kind of stuff. Amara frowned. What things? Packages, Chloe replied quickly. Documents mostly. Documents. Amara repeated. Yeah, Chloe said, her tone light.
People do it all the time.
It's normal here. Amara hesitated. Something didn't feel right. But then her mind flashed back to her unfinished assignments, the warnings from her lecturers, the fear of failing, the growing distance between her and everything she used to be. How much? She asked quietly. Chloe's smile widened. Enough to take care of your problems. That was all Amara needed to hear. The first time felt harmless. Too harmless. A package arrived at her address. She didn't open it. Chloe had told her not to. She just waited until the next day, then handed it over to someone Chloe had sent.
See?
Easy, Chloe said afterward. Amara nodded slowly.
Yeah, easy.
And just like that, it began. Days passed. Then weeks. The small favors became more frequent. Just one more, Chloe would say. Just this last one. Trust me, it's fine. And each time, Amara said yes. The money came quickly. Too quickly. Her worries started fading. She paid off things she couldn't before. She stopped stressing as much about survival. But something else replaced that stress. A quiet unease. One evening, she sat alone in her room, staring at the envelope of cash on her table. Her phone buzzed. Mama calling. She didn't answer. Instead, she whispered, I'm doing this for us.
But even she didn't sound convinced.
The next day, everything changed. Amara was on her way back from class when her phone rang. It was Chloe. Where are you? Chloe asked, her voice unusually tense. I'm heading back to my room.
Why?
Don't go there, Chloe said quickly. Amara stopped walking.
What?
Why? Just don't. Go somewhere else. Anywhere else. Amara's heart began to race. Chloe, what's going on? There was a pause. Then Chloe spoke again, her voice lower now. Something happened. Amara's grip tightened around her phone. What do you mean something happened? The last package, Chloe started. Amara felt her stomach drop. What about it? It wasn't clean. Silence. Amara blinked rapidly. I don't understand. It got flagged, Chloe said. People are asking questions. Amara's chest tightened. What kind of questions? Chloe didn't answer immediately. Chloe, Amara's voice shook. What kind of questions? They traced it. The world around Amara seemed to freeze. To where? She whispered. Chloe exhaled sharply.
To you.
Amara felt like the ground had disappeared beneath her. No, that's not possible. I didn't do anything. You were involved, Chloe cut in. That's enough. Amara's breathing became uneven. What do I do? She asked desperately. Stay calm, Chloe replied quickly. Don't panic. How can I not panic? Amara snapped, her voice breaking. You said it was safe. I said I've got you. Chloe shot back. Then fix it. Amara cried. Another pause. This one felt different. Longer. Colder. I can't, Chloe said finally. The words hit harder than anything else. What? Amara whispered. I didn't know it would go this far, Chloe continued. This isn't on me. Amara's eyes filled with tears. It's not on you, she repeated in disbelief. You brought me into this. You agreed, Chloe replied sharply. Amara felt something inside her shatter. You said you had me, she said, her voice barely audible. I can't help you now, Chloe said. And just like that, the call ended. Amara stood there, frozen, her phone still pressed to her ear. The noise of the city returned slowly, but it felt distant, unreal. She lowered her hand slowly. No, she whispered.
No.
Her chest tightened painfully as panic set in. She started walking again. Faster this time, her steps uneven, her thoughts spiraling. What have I done? Her phone buzzed again. A message this time. Unknown number. We need to speak with you. Her hands began to shake uncontrollably. Another message came in. Unknown number. This is serious. Amara felt tears spill down her cheeks. I didn't mean for this to happen, she whispered again, the same words from earlier, now heavier, more real. She looked around, her breathing shallow. People passed by her, completely unaware that her world was collapsing. She was alone. Completely alone. And for the first time since she arrived in this country, she was afraid. That night, she didn't go back to her room. She wandered the streets, her mind racing, her heart pounding. Every sound made her jump. Every passing car made her flinch. Her thoughts were loud, chaotic. You've ruined everything. You've disappointed everyone. You can't go back. You can't fix this. She covered her ears slightly, shaking her head. Stop, she whispered. Just stop. But the thoughts didn't stop. They only got louder. Eventually, her legs gave out, and she found herself sitting on a quiet roadside, hugging her knees tightly. Tears streamed down her face. I just wanted a better life, she choked. And now look at you. The voice startled her. She looked up quickly. It was the quiet student again, standing there, watching her. Amara blinked through her tears. Why do you keep appearing like this? The girl walked closer slowly. Because you keep going where you shouldn't, she replied calmly. Amara let out a broken laugh. You don't even know what's happening. I know enough, the girl said. Amara looked away, wiping her face angrily. Then say it, she snapped. Say whatever you want to say. The girl didn't hesitate. You lost yourself. The words landed heavily. Amara swallowed hard. I didn't mean to. I know, the girl said softly. Amara's lips trembled. I thought I was just trying to survive. The girl sat beside her. And now? Amara stared ahead, her voice empty. Now I don't know who I am anymore. The cold air wrapped around Amara, but she barely noticed it anymore. Now I don't know who I am anymore. Her own words echoed back at her, heavier than anything she had carried before. The quiet girl didn't respond immediately. She just sat beside her, calm, steady, like she had been here before. What's your name? Amara asked suddenly, her voice tired. Lena, she replied. Amara nodded slowly. Why do you care? Lena looked ahead, her expression unreadable. Because I've seen this before. Amara frowned. Seen what? This. Lena gestured lightly. Someone leaving everything behind, trying so hard to become something else, and losing themselves in the process. Amara swallowed. And did they find themselves again? She asked quietly. Lena turned to look at her. Yes, she said. But only after they stopped running. Amara let out a shaky breath. I don't even know where to start. Start by telling the truth, Lena replied. Amara laughed bitterly. To who? The people looking for me? My school? My mother? Yes, Lena said simply. Amara shook her head immediately. No, I can't. If I do that, I lose everything. Lena didn't flinch. And if you don't? Amara went silent. Because deep down she already knew the answer. She had already lost everything that mattered. Her peace. Her identity. Herself. Tears filled her eyes again, but this time, she didn't fight them. I'm scared, she admitted. I know, Lena said softly. There was a long pause between them. Then slowly, Amara wiped her face and stood up. I don't want to keep running, she said. Lena nodded once. Then don't. The next few days were the hardest of her life. Amara told the truth. Not perfectly, not bravely at first. Her voice shook. Her hands trembled. She cried more times than she could count. But she did it. She faced the consequences. Her scholarship was suspended temporarily. There were investigations, meetings, questions that made her relive every mistake she had made. And through it all, Chloe never showed up. Not once. At first, that hurt. Then it didn't. Because Amara was starting to see clearly now. The person she thought had got her was the same person who let her fall. One evening, after a long day, Amara sat quietly in her room. The silence felt different now. Not empty, just calm. Her phone lay on the table in front of her. She stared at it for a long time. Then slowly she picked it up. Her hands were steady this time. She dialed. It rang once. Twice. 3 times. Then, Amara? Her mother's voice. Soft. Familiar. Home. Amara's lips trembled. Mama, she whispered. Amara, are you okay? I've been so worried. I'm sorry. Amara broke in. her voice cracking. I'm so sorry. There was a pause. What happened? Her mother asked gently. And, for the first time, Amara didn't hide. She told her everything. The pressure, the loneliness, the choices, the mistakes. Her voice broke over and over again, but she didn't stop. On the other end, her mother stayed silent, listening. When Amara finally finished, all she could hear was her own breathing. I understand if you're disappointed in me, she said quietly. Another pause. Then her mother spoke. I'm not disappointed in you. Amara's eyes widened slightly. I'm just glad you found your way back. The words hit her harder than anything else. She covered her mouth, tears streaming down her face. I thought I lost myself, Amara whispered. You didn't lose yourself, her mother replied softly. You just forgot who you were. Amara closed her eyes, and for the first time in a long time, she felt something shift. Weeks turned into months. Amara started rebuilding her life slowly. She distanced herself completely from everything that had pulled her down. She focused on her studies again, asked for help when she needed it, and most importantly, she stopped pretending to be someone else. Her accent came back. Her confidence returned, this time real.
Not forced.
Not borrowed, but hers. One afternoon, she sat in the same spot on campus where she had once broken down. A new student stood nearby, looking lost, holding a paper, unsure. Amara watched her for a moment. Then she stood up and walked over. Hey, she said gently. The girl looked up. I'm trying to find this hall. Amara smiled. I'll show you. As they walked, the girl hesitated before speaking again. I'm new, and honestly, I'm a bit scared. Amara let out a soft laugh. I understand. Does it get easier? The girl asked. Amara thought about it for a second. Then she nodded. Yes, but only if you don't lose yourself trying to fit in. The girl smiled slightly. Thank you. As Amara walked away, she paused for a moment, looking around the campus. Same place, same environment, but she was no longer the same person. Stronger, wiser, whole again. And this time, she knew exactly who she was. Because leaving home didn't change her. Forgetting herself did. But finding herself again, that changed everything. If you made it this far, then you already understand how easy it is to lose yourself chasing a dream and how hard it is to find your way back. So tell me in the comments, have you ever felt like you were becoming someone you didn't recognize? And if this story touched you in any way, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because sometimes, the journey isn't about leaving home. It's about finding your way back to yourself.